Hey, if you're in e-commerce, you know the grind of winning a new customer, right? But what about keeping them? Honestly, that's often the tougher and way more expensive battle. So today, we're going to tackle one of the most critical puzzles in online retail: how to hold on to the customers you've already worked so hard to get.
Let's just kick things off with a number that should really make you sit up and pay attention. 28.2%. That's the average customer retention rate for e-commerce brands. Just let that sink in. For every 10 customers you bring in, more than 7 of them, they're just gone. They never buy from you again. That is a massive, massive problem.
You know, it's helpful to think of your business like a bucket. You spend all this time, this money, this energy filling it up with new customers. But if there are holes in the bottom, those amazing customers you just won are leaking right out. So throughout this whole explainer, we're going to stick with this leaky bucket idea to figure out exactly where those leaks are and, more importantly, how to plug them for good.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to really understand this retention gap. Then we'll get into how you can actually measure it. After that, we're diving into 8 solid strategies to fix the leaks. Then we'll look at a super proactive way to stop leaks before they even start. And finally, we'll talk about putting it all together.
So what is this gap we're talking about? Well, it all boils down to one simple, powerful truth. Keeping a customer you already have is almost always cheaper, way cheaper than finding a brand new one. And yet, so many businesses pour all their resources into acquisition, totally ignoring the gold mine of customers they've already got.
At its heart, this whole idea is really simple. Customer retention isn't some crazy, complex marketing speak. Nope. It's just the art and science of turning a one-time buyer into a repeat, loyal fan. It's about building a real relationship, not just processing a transaction. Okay, so you can't fix a leaky bucket if you have no idea where the holes are, right? Or how big they are. That's where your metrics come in. I want you to think of these as your diagnostic tools, like a dashboard for your bucket that shows you the real health of your customer loyalty.
These 5 are the big ones. You've got your retention rate and your churn rate, which basically tell you who's sticking around and who's bailing. Then there's repeat purchase rate, how often do they come back for more. Average order value tells you how much they spend when they do. And then the one that ties it all together, customer lifetime value.
CLV. This is the ultimate scorecard for your retention efforts. It's not about what someone spends today. It's the total projected worth of that customer over their entire journey with your brand. A high CLV, that means you've got a really healthy, really solid, not so leaky bucket.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Calculating this sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward. First, you figure out a customer's value per year. Just take their average order value and multiply it by how many times they buy. Then, you multiply that number by how many years you think they'll stay a customer. So in this example, a single customer is worth $720. Now just imagine raising that number for all your customers. Game changer.
All right, we know how to find and measure the leaks. Now for the fun part, the tools we can use to plug them up. We're going to walk through 8 proven strategies for building that customer loyalty and really cranking up your retention.
This is a great little overview of our toolkit. You've got strategies that tap into psychology, like personalization and gamification. You have clear financial incentives, like loyalty and referral programs, and then you have these awesome automated safety nets, like win-back campaigns and abandoned cart alerts. Let's dig into a few of these.
Okay, strategy number 1 is, in my opinion, maybe the most important of all. You have to stop treating your customers like just another name on a spreadsheet. Personalization is all about making it feel like a one-to-one conversation, showing them that you actually get them, their tastes, their needs, their preferences.
And Spotify is the perfect example of this in action. It's not just a giant library of music, it's your personal DJ. When they create playlists like Discover Weekly, it feels like they made it just for you. It stops being a service and becomes my service. That feeling right there, that builds insane loyalty. Building right on top of that personal connection, our next 2 strategies are all about tapping into some pretty basic human desires, our love for achievement and rewards. Gamification makes interacting with your brand genuinely fun, and a loyalty program gives people a very clear, tangible reason to stick with you.
And we see this everywhere. Think about Duolingo, right? They literally turn learning a language into an addictive game with streaks and leaderboards. Or Sephora's Beauty Insider program, where every single purchase feels like you're investing in a future treat. And get this, 90% of businesses with these programs report a positive return on investment. So they're not just fun, they actually work.
Okay, let's talk about two really smart automated strategies. Referral marketing is brilliant. It turns your happiest customers into your best salespeople. And win-back campaigns, they're your safety net, designed to catch and re-engage customers who have started to drift away.
MeUndies has a great referral program. It's a perfect win-win-win. The brand gets a new customer, the person who referred them gets a credit, and their friend gets a nice discount. Everybody's happy. Meanwhile, a company like Elysium Health sees a customer has gone quiet, and they proactively send a little "we miss you" offer to remind them why they liked the brand in the first place. This next strategy tackles one of the biggest, most frustrating leaks in the whole e-commerce bucket. You know the one. Someone is so close, they like your product, they put it in their cart, and then, poof, they're gone.
Just look at this chart. It's absolutely staggering. Over 70% of all online shopping carts are abandoned. That is a mind-blowing amount of lost money. But something as simple as an automated email from a brand like Kizik, just gently reminding someone what they left behind, maybe tossing in a small discount, can bring back a huge chunk of those sales.
And for our last two strategies, it's all about smart, direct communication. Sending exclusive promotions makes your best customers feel like VIPs. And using SMS marketing? That's your direct line to cut through the clutter of an email inbox for messages that are timely and urgent. Here we have two absolute masters at work. Amazon makes Prime members feel special with early access to big sales, constantly reinforcing the value of that membership. And Domino's knows that when you want pizza, you want it now. So a text message with a great deal is the perfect way to get your attention. It's all about using the right channel for the right message.
Okay, let's get into a more advanced technique. Up until now, we've mostly talked about plugging leaks that are already there or winning back customers after they've left. But what if you could actually see a customer who was about to leave and stop them before they did? It's a system called negative lead scoring, and it's so smart. You basically track signs that a customer is losing interest, like they haven't opened your emails in a while or visited your site. When the disengagement score hits a certain point, you can automatically trigger a personalized email with a special offer to try and win them back. It's a brilliant, proactive way to stop churn before it happens.
You know, when you really get down to it, customer retention isn't a one-off campaign or just a single tactic you try. It's a total shift in your mindset. It's about seeing every single interaction with a customer as a chance to build that relationship, to provide real value, and to make sure they want to come back again and again.
So there you have it. We've looked at the problem, we've looked at the metrics you need to diagnose it, and we've unpacked a whole toolkit of strategies to fix it. From simple things like abandoned cart emails to more advanced systems like negative lead scoring, the solutions are right there for you. So the only question left is, which tool are you going to pick up first to start plugging the leaks in your bucket?